Visit any supermarket or sweet shop and you will be surrounded by a mouth-watering array of boiled sweets, chocolates and biscuits. The comforting sweetness of a childhood favourite can be enough to transport even the bitterest of grown-ups back to simpler, more carefree days. We all have a memory or story involving our favourite sweet treat. But what is the story of those who made and manufactured these edible delights? And what is their connection to our own little borough? In this short series, we are going to be looking at the confectionery industry in Calderdale and how it grew from humble beginnings to form part of a burgeoning industry that is now worth approximately £3.7 billion to the UK economy.
Let's start with Calderdale's most famous confectionery dynasty. I am, of course, talking about the Mackintosh family. The year is 1890, and newlyweds John and Violet Mackintosh have just invested their joint savings of £100 into the opening of a pastry cook shop at 53 King Cross Lane in Halifax. Seeking a speciality, they decide to blend soft American caramel together with hard, brittle British toffee. This results in the chewy toffee that we have today. Convinced that they have hit upon a magic formula, the couple decide to set about selling and marketing it. John starts to sell their new toffee from a market stall in Halifax. It proves to be so popular that John and Violet decide to wind down their retail business so that they can concentrate on manufacturing their toffee and selling it to other retailers. It's now 1894. And the Mackintoshes need somewhere more suitable for the manufacture of their toffee. They move their business to a warehouse at Bond Street in Halifax, where they begin to manufacture their toffee in larger quantities. However, their business will soon outgrow its new premises, so the following year the business is moved to larger premises in Hope Street, Halifax. John and Violet continue to experiment with different flavours, and in 1896 they start to advertise a mouth-watering selection of toffees, including creamery toffee, broken scotch, Yorkshire buttercups and aniseed toffee. Now, as any business person will tell you, it is not enough to have an amazing product. You also need to be able to promote and market it to would-be customers. This is why John invests huge amounts of time, expertise and money into thinking of ways to promote his products. Even though John is more limited in the media he has available to him than subsequent generations of entrepreneurs, he still manages to come up with some rather effective advertising strategies, many of which will continue to be used well into the 21st century. These include placing adverts in newspapers and magazines, sending free samples of his toffees to MPs, and devising promotional competitions and coupons to encourage customers to buy his products. 1899 sees the formation of John Mackintosh Limited and a move to a purpose-built factory on Queen's Road, Halifax. The business continues to go from strength to strength, with Mackintoshes starting to export their toffee to Italy, Spain and China, and the opening of a new factory in the USA in 1904. The Mackintoshes' good fortune would soon be temporarily suspended. It is 11:15 p.m. on the 29th of October 1909. As Halifax sleeps, fire tears through the Queen's Road factory and causes £20,000 worth of damage, thousands of pounds worth of stock and equipment, as well as almost 2 decades of hard toil and dreams have literally gone up in smoke. Fortunately, the damage is covered by insurance, which means that John and Violet are able to move production to Albion Mills in Halifax. The Mackintoshes are back in business. The next decade would see Mackintoshes move into chocolate manufacture and start production of its renowned Toffee Deluxe line. Tragedy would strike once again when, in 1920, John Mackintosh would die suddenly at the age of 52, leaving his son Harold to run a business empire worth just over £350,000. Harold would oversee some big changes within the company, which would start with the company rebranding itself as John Mackintosh and Sons Limited in 1921. At this point in time, the firm employs 1,000 staff. Although Mackintoshes had previously experimented with chocolate manufacture, it would be 1925 before Mackintosh's chocolate would go on sale. Their chocolate range would increase in 1932 with the acquisition of A.J. Cayley & Son Limited of Norwich, along with all their brands and products. 1936 would see the introduction of Mackintosh's now world-famous Quality Street, which remains a firm favourite to this day. As the years roll by, Mackintosh's product range increases to include Rolos, Caramac and Toffee Crisp, to name a few. By 1953 there are over 4,000 members of staff on the Mackintosh payroll, and Quality Street is being exported to America. The next big change for the firm would come in 1969 in the form of a merger with Rowntree's of York. The new company would be known as Rowntree Mackintoshes, until 1988 when Mackintoshes would be dropped from its name. It's now 1989, and Mackintoshes have survived 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and various mergers and acquisitions. After being in business for just under a century, Mackintoshes, along with parent company Rowntree's, is bought out by confectionery giant Nestlé. For me, what makes the Mackintosh story truly inspiring is the way that it blends the talents of generations. From this one seemingly ordinary Calderdale family, we have Violet, whose experiments give us the modern chewy toffee now enjoyed by millions the world over. John's innovative marketing strategies, which would prove to be the catalyst for much of the company's early success. And Harold's financial acumen, which would see the company through multiple mergers and acquisitions to emerge as part of a multinational conglomerate. Then there are the generations of workers, those men and women who worked and continue to work on the company's production lines in their offices and distribution centres. It's now 2021 and Nestlé is still a major part of the local economy, employing between 720 and 900 people locally. Family favourites such as Quality Street and After Eights continue to roll off the production lines in Halifax and into supermarket trolleys and gift bags worldwide. And to think that it all started in a small pastry cook shop in our very own town of Halifax.